Welcome to RE Uncut. Our daily shows are supported by Printforce, Sure Agents, Rockend and CoreLogic.
Welcome to the final episode in my series with Daniel Argent from UrbanX, talking about his experiences through the GFC and the things that we can learn today as we go through this very difficult stage. And it's a dark time, it's a difficult time. We're going to be asking yourselves lots of questions. The line I want to give you right now comes from Daniel, and we'll talk about it because it's about the brightest a candle will ever be is in a dark room. And the question for you is, are you going to be that candle? I'll talk to Daniel in just a moment.
Your business card is a vital selling tool and a constant visual reminder of who you are, what you do, and more importantly, how you can be contacted. Introducing our new Velvet business cards, featuring a luxurious premium laminate that has a velvet texture and is soft to the touch. Printed on a resilient 450 GSM card, these cards can be printed with a range of spot gloss and foiling options to give your office that prestigious look.
Back now with Daniel Argent from UrbanX. And Daniel, we're going to talk about the brand today, but before I do, let's just deal with the candle in the dark room and the self-belief that you have to have that you will actually come through this. Very important, isn't it?
It's very important, and I think it's a real opportunity, Kevin. And there's a real crisis going on. There's people getting sick. There's people losing their lives, and there's people losing their businesses and jobs. And that's real, and that's happening. But as well as that, there's a massive opportunity, and that opportunity exists for those that are willing to see it. And so, you shared my quote before that if you light a candle in a bright room, well, it's really not going to make any difference at all, if any. But in a pitch black room, you light a candle, it'll light up the entire room, and it stands out so much more. Well, we are entering a dark period. We're entering a winter, and it is our opportunity to actually stand out and be a beacon of light during this period. And it's so much easier to stand out. I think that's the key. It's so much easier to stand out in a period like this. And that's the opportunity. And I think we can either get caught up in the fear or we can get caught up in the faith. And if we get caught up in the fear, it's going to lead us down a period of scarcity and retracting and retreating. If we get focused on our faith that we will make it, we will get through this, yes, feel the fear, but do it anyway, then we're actually going to focus on the opportunity and the actions that we can take every day. And you've been good enough to share some of those actions this week with your audience. There are actions that we can focus on every day. And as long as we do that, we will come out the other side of it, and we'll come out the other side even stronger.
Okay, tell me about the brand now. We've made the decision to make the move. We're going to break away on our own. Even if you don't break away, there's still nothing to stop you from creating the Kevin Turner brand or the Daniel Argent brand or the Fred Nurk brand, whatever it is. Talk to me about brand. How important was it and how did you develop it?
Let me just really define what a brand is, in my opinion. It's not just a logo. You can see our logo. It's not just a logo. It's not pretty colors, pretty fonts, nice folders, signboards that look great, etc. Look, that's part of it. That's the visual element to a brand. But you just spoke about the Kevin Turner brand. I mean, if I spoke to someone about Kevin Turner and they didn't know you, they might be aware that you run a podcast, that you run a video series, that you're in real estate for many years. Now you release these great videos and this great series every week. That's what they know about you. And so in my opinion, your brand is what people know about you. It's how they define you out in the marketplace or out in the world. It's been said that your brand is what people say about you when you're not there. So when we talk about building a brand, we're not just talking about building a pretty logo. We are talking about what's the reputation that you're going to build. Now, I am, for anyone who knows me or has heard me speak before, I am so passionate about building your own brand, but you're going to find out why in this series, because your name is your brand. Again, Kevin, you spoke about the Kevin Turner brand and the Dan Argent brand. Your name is your brand. The agency you work for is not your brand. And so by building my own brand, I built a brand during the GFC, and the brand that I built was I was the guy that got results. I was the guy that was there, turned up week in, week out. I was the guy that provided excellent service to all of my clients, and people talked about that. And so, we talked about the smallest candle stands out in the darkest room. My sold signs were one of the best advertising around Brisbane, which is where I operate. They were few and far between, sold signs. And so they'd really notice the sold stickers, and you'd get called, oh my goodness, I just saw you sold that one on the corner. What did you get? Tell me about it. Like, people notice that. So Kevin, I built a brand during the GFC as the guy that got results and provided great service. And that's really why I'm so passionate about building your own brand, and why I believe your name is your brand. Because I need people saying, oh, that Dan Argent guy, he's getting great results at the moment. If you're thinking about selling, that's who you need to go with. Or I wanted people to think, geez, I'm thinking about putting my home on the market. Which agents am I going to call in? Well, I've seen that Dan Argent around everywhere. Why don't we give him a call? This is why your brand is so, so important. And you are right. You don't need to work for yourself to build your own brand. But what I can tell you is that it's a hell of a lot easier to do so, because, you've only got to look at, 95% of most agency signboards, and it is all about the agency and just this tiny little, line with just your name and phone number for your details. Your name is your brand. It needs to be up in lights. And for me, the best way I could do that was by working for myself. And again, it ties back into the 250% year-on-year growth that I had, Kevin, on the other side of the GFC. I had built my name and my brand so much during those tough, dark years that on the other side of it, I was just the go-to guy. And that elevated me to be the number one agent for the next 5 out of the next 6 years in my area.
Daniel, give me the last word, mate. This is the last in our series. Some positives. Tell me, how are you feeling?
Kevin, look, I'm feeling really positive. I feel for the people that have been badly affected and are going to be badly affected, but I can't focus on that. Well, I've got to focus on the positive, and I've got to focus on the opportunity. And Kevin, can I just say, if we have that mindset every day, this is going to be an incredible period to teach many lessons. I've shared with you and your audience all of the lessons that I learned during the GFC. I wouldn't be who I am today. I wouldn't be in the position I am today if it wasn't for the GFC. I know that in 10 years' time, 5 years' time, maybe less, we will look back on this period and the lessons learnt from this period, and there will be so many incredible things that come out of it. So I don't want to be insensitive to all the other things that are happening. I feel those, and I feel for those people, but we've got to focus on the opportunities this right now, and we will come out the other side of this, and the actions that you put into place now will set you up to succeed on the other side.
Daniel, it's been fantastic talking to you. Thank you very much for your time. Daniel Argent from UrbanX. It's been great, mate, and we'll talk again real soon. Thank you.
Thanks, Kevin. Thanks. Appreciate it.
I should just say one thing. Stay well.
Absolutely.
The daily RE Uncut shows are supported by Printforce, Shore Agents, Rockend and CoreLogic. RE Uncut is one of the anchor shows at retplus.com, the home of property.